Hello there. I go by the name Universe, and right now I'm just gonna be doing a pretty interesting World Cup not tier list, sorry, World Cup group games ranking. So pretty much I'm gonna look at all the games. I'm gonna rank them out of six, not out of six, like 1 through 6. 6 will obviously being the worst, 1 being the best. I'll do Group A and B. So pretty much my criteria: how many goals were scored, the tensions, like would a team get eliminated doing this, and of course I'm gonna do this with all matches. So that's what I'm saying. And of course the whole tension thing is gonna go completely out the window when it's around the 16, because there's always gonna be tension. Probably like the comebacks. Yeah, that's about my criteria. Let's get started. Group A, I think the worst match was Netherlands vs Qatar. It wasn't the worst, the most boring match, I'd say. Now, I'll be honest, like Gakpo and De Jong already got the lead advantage. This wasn't really dangerous to Netherlands. They weren't gonna lose to Qatar anyway, and they were already on a undefeated one, so they didn't need to do anything right here. This was a pretty mid-tier match, so I would say. And it's just further solidified Qatar's losing streak. Not really much to say about here. Make it interesting. If Netherlands lost 0-2, that would have been an absolute wild. That would be number 1 immediately. Because them losing is already bad enough. But if they lost, then they would have been at 4 points. If they lost by 0-1 or 0-1, then they would still go through. But if they lost 0-2, they actually would have gone out of the group stage, which I would have loved to see. Not that it's wrong. Not like I hate the Netherlands or Holland. Number 5, we got Qatar vs Ecuador. This was the very first match of the game, and yeah, this is the only time where a host nation lose their first match. It has that, but honestly, there weren't much like comebacks, goals, tension at all, because many teams lost their first match in a bit of an upset. Take Argentina. And this wasn't really much of an issue. Not much tension. Again, both goals scored before the halftime were so new. It's a pretty simple match overall. I guess if we make it interesting, if it was a draw, I don't know how to make it interesting. This is a very middle of the road make. Maybe if Qatar win, then that would have been pretty good. Alright, number 4, we got Qatar vs Senegal. Pretty much all the Qatar matches were kind of mid. Also, if you're wondering why I'm pronouncing Qatar, because I actually know how it's pronounced. Qatar vs Senegal. Now, again, all the matches are kind of mid. Well, to be fair, Qatar did score the very first goal here, but that's about it. They had no chance. They would make it 2-1 or 1-2, but didn't really matter because then Senegal would have won either way, honestly, in my opinion. Not much tension there. I guess the only tension is that if they lost that match, then they would have been out of the group stage. So that's why it's a bit higher. I don't know. If we make it interesting, is that if they did lose, that would have been kind of crazy. Or if they drew a match, then that would have been not good for them. Number 3, we got Netherlands or Holland versus Senegal. Reason this was interesting was because when it was looking at the 83rd minute, it was still a draw. So most people would have thought, oh, it's probably gonna end 0-0, but nope. They scored 2 goals in like the last 10 minutes of the match. Good for Holland, I guess. I don't think there's much of a way to make it more interesting, because most of the time first matches aren't that much interesting. It's just a good match, I say. Definitely lots of tension. Next, we got Ecuador vs Holland. Reason is that because it seemed good. Gakpo got a goal in the first 10 minutes, but then Valencia come in and scored the equalizer. I think that was interesting because the equalizer now made it risky for the Netherlands. I mean, they weren't gonna lose the Qatar, but all I'm saying is that that would have been good for them. Be a bit embarrassing to lose or get drew with Ecuador. It was a good match, I say. It has tension because that means Ecuador had 4 points now, so they were pretty good with that. They just need to win with Senegal again. So interesting match. But I think the best one was Ecuador vs Senegal. This was the one that decided who went through. Ecuador had 4 points and Senegal had 3 points. If Ecuador could get a draw here, then that means that they would have won. They would have gone through with 5 points. If they lose, they lose. If they win, they go through. But however, Senegal, got the early lead from a penalty, and then Kakideo scores, making it 1-1. This is good if they can hold on. But then a few minutes later, Konibani makes it 1-2 and knocks out Ecuador teams out. Now to Tencent, decent amount of goals. I'd say how that team go through. This was a good match. This was the best match by far. In general, though, Group A had a bit of mid-tier matches, I would say. Alright, moving on to Group B. Now, I'm just gonna get to you. Number 6, England and USA. Barely any matches, barely any shots on target. 0-0 at the end. And we had enough, build up to it, but it didn't really pay off. Alright, next we got Wales versus USA. Also, make England and USA better. I guess if USA beat England again, from 1950, upset of the century. England and Wales and USA, I'd say, because in general, it was just a mid-tier match. Again, Wales got the first one, but then Bale got a penalty and made it and drew it. But honestly, USA wasn't in much trouble after that, I guess. I don't know, it was okay. And then England versus Wales, I'd say England was. It was a mid-tier match again, because nobody was really gonna go out anyway. England wasn't really gonna go out. It just made Wales, because I think if Wales won that match, that would have changed the new stuff. Nah, probably wouldn't have. But still, it's just a kind of okay match, I say. And then 4. No, sorry, not 4. 3, we have Iran and Wales. All the Wales matches are kind of mid, honestly. Now, of course, I think the reason I put it much higher is because it would have been a draw. It would have been good for Wales. However, Iran came in and scored 2 goals in the last 90 minutes, in the additional time of 11 minutes, which I think is just crazy. Good job, props to Iran for making it. Anyway, number 2, USA versus Iran. Now, this was crucial because if Iran won, then they would have gone through. If USA won, they would have gone through. That's about it. And I think if Iran drew that match, so then I don't think they would have gone through. Wait, hold on. If they drew, they have 4 points. USA. If they drew, they would have gone through. But they lost against Pulisic getting his goal. Alright, and the best one is England versus Iran. Most goals throughout, 8 goals. Really just became a slaughter for poor Iran. Pretty interesting too. It was 4-1, 4-2. It was alright in my opinion. No, not alright. It was a great match because it had probably the most intense, sweeping ever besides Spain versus Costa Rica. It's a great match, most best one. So now let's do a quick little summary of who's the most boring match of each one. So Group A, the most boring nation, because all their matches was cut off because all of their matches were in the bottom 3, so you know. And then I'd say next was probably just doing some quick calculations here. 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then probably Holland. They had some good matches, but they had one at the bottom at 6, one at 3rd place, and one at 2nd place. Well, Senegal had one at 4th place and one at 1st place. Actually, I might put Ecuador there. I don't know. This cutout was the most boring, and probably most fun was probably, I don't know, Senegal maybe. Group B, the most boring was Wales. Let's be real. Then I'd put England, USA, and Iran. So that's gonna be it for this video. I'll see y'all later, and goodbye.